Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Wow. Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. And today I am happy to bring LaTonya L.D. Howard, who is a best-selling author, educator, and entrepreneur, and has spent more than a decade helping small business owners achieve their goals. As a small business owner herself, LaTonya understands firsthand the importance of running a business in a cost-efficient manner, which was her primary motivation for opening Howard Corporate Center, LLC in 2012. Wow. Well, welcome, LaTonya. And we are so eager to learn what Howard Corporate Center, LLC is all about. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to join you this evening.
Yes.
We're really glad to have you.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us exactly what your company does.
Sure. So like you said, Howard Corporate LLC is a company that I founded in 2012, and it's primarily a shared workspace business. And there are a lot of different terms out in the marketplace that refer to the same thing. Executive suites, co-working is a buzzword now, virtual offices, but it's all a form of serviced office space or workspace as a service or on-demand workspace. So Howard Corporate Center in particular is the shared workspace business that I opened in 2012 in Laurel, Maryland, which is right outside of the District of Columbia. And primarily I have really, there are three ways that we support small business owners. One, we have what we call a la carte services. And those are services where business owners can use our space on an as-needed basis. So this is good for the small business owner who may be starting up and doesn't want to lease out their own space, or perhaps they're the type of business model that doesn't need to have a fixed space all the time. You know, if they're a contractor and they work primarily at client sites, they can use our services on an as-needed basis to avoid working out of coffee shops, for example, or working out of their home. It allows them to have a more professional place to meet with their clients and prospects. Another way that people can use our services is through what we call virtual plans or virtual services. And what this essentially enables our clients to do is to effectively bundle and package the specific services that they need and use them in a way that might be more cost efficient and more suitable for them than the a la carte service. And then thirdly, we have full-time offices. And this is a service that appeals to those clients who need to have a fixed office, a fixed address. They want to have all of the bells and whistles that come along with having their own office space, such as furniture, utilities, telecommunication services, but without all of the overhead that comes along with that. So those are the three primary pathways there. There's more that we do, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later to support business owners, but that's the primary portfolio of services through Howard Corporate Center.
Okay, I love it because that's something that's definitely needed for the small business owner, because I mean, a lot of business owners are working from their home, might be working at the kitchen table. They may not necessarily want to invite a prospective client to the kitchen table.
Exactly. You have to have that separation of personal and business space, not only for your own personal reasons, just because it kind of helps to keep your mental space in balance, but there could also be some legal ramifications when you're commingling in your business. Funds, absolutely, but even how you resource things such as office space and where you work from, particularly depending upon the type of business model you have.
Absolutely.
And that's actually one of the things that I talk about in my book, Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz, that these are things that a lot of people don't think about when they're starting out. They might think that they're saving money by having meetings at the kitchen table, for example, but not only are you potentially decreasing your perceived credibility, but you might actually be jeopardizing certain protections that your business structure offers you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can think of a particular business that could apply to in terms of, like, say, a caterer. You know, you're not supposed to cook out of your kitchen. You're supposed to have a licensed commercial kitchen.
Right.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And the beautiful thing about service office space in general is that it really takes away the cost burden, which is why I think a lot of people tend to cut corners like that, if I can use that term, because it's just so expensive to have your own space. But service office space really helps to cut out a lot of those costs, those overhead financial burdens that tend to make people think that they have to cut corners like that and jeopardize themselves and whoever their customers may be. So I think it's really good that people know about this offering in the marketplace.
Now, let me ask you, in addition to the space, do you have, like, say, copiers, computers, and things like that on hand?
Yes, there absolutely are ancillary business services that we have in addition to the office space. We don't have computers per se because everybody's computer needs are different. And as soon as you get one computer, 2 weeks later, there's a new model out. But we do provide furniture, for example. As far as business services specifically, we do have copy, print, fax services. We do provide the telecommunication services. Internet is included with all of our spaces. We also have different types of telephone services. We have virtual services, which is the way that a lot of businesses are going nowadays, cloud-based types of systems. But we also have landline alternatives for those who still need those types of models. And we also, going back to the notion of reducing overhead, in addition to those ancillary services, we have reception services, someone who can meet and greet your customers when they come in to provide that warm welcome. Janitorial services and maintenance types of costs are all included in the package. So when someone comes to Howard Corporate Center, the only thing they have to worry about is what they do best, focus on their business. We take care of all of the back end types of things for them.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
You can see how it's
and the feedback that I get from people, and just to tell you a little bit about how Howard Corporate Center came to be, I actually started out as a customer of service office space because the industry itself has been around for decades. But it's still novel to many people, which is what prompted me to write my book. But I first learned about service office space in 2009. And after doing some soul searching and figuring out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, so to speak, I decided that I wanted to launch my own service office space because I liked the way it made me feel when I was a user. So it's really an honor to help other business owners have that same feeling of confidence and not having to worry about the minutia that sometimes can take over your mind so much that you don't focus on moving your business forward. So it's really a good service. It really serves a good purpose. Small business owners, as we all know, are the engine that drive the economy. And to be able to have a service that levels the playing field and enables small business owners to have a greater likelihood of success is just, a wonderful space to be in.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow.
Could you talk a little bit about, you mentioned you have 3 levels, the a la carte, the virtual services, and the full line office. And you said within the virtual services, there were a number of items that go into that. Could you tell us what that's about? Could you describe that again and the services that are encapsulated in that?
Sure. So one way of looking at the virtual services, at least for my business, is it's the middle ground between a la carte and full-time. So the virtual services are for people who need a little bit more than the a la carte, but not as much as the full-time. And there are two types of virtual services that we have. One is what we call corporate identity services. And this is the service that allows someone to use our address as their corporate address. So instead of using a P.O. box, for example, or a home address as your business address, you can have a real business address by using our corporate identity service. And the benefit of this is there are multiple benefits to having, using a business like mine as a business address. One, it can help potentially with, well, first of all, of course, it helps with perceived credibility, having a quote unquote real address. And there are some companies and some federal or other types of government entities that won't allow you to do business with them unless you have a real street address. So the P.O. box is not even an option. And then also when you have an address at a company like mine, it can actually help with your rankings on the internet with search engine optimization. It just tends to happen organically. I can't get into all the specifics of how that is, but that's something that can help with your search engine optimization. So that's one aspect of the virtual services. Another is what we call workspace packages. So if you're a company who knows that you need to use a certain number of hours per month to conduct your business or to meet with clients, you can bundle a package together that includes the number of hours that you think you need to support yourself for a month, and you can do so at a cost savings versus if you did it on an a la carte basis, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's just a way to really have more control over how much or how little of the services that you need. And that's one of the greatest advantages versus having your own space or being a tenant in a building. You have more control over what you use, when you use it, and how it affects your pocketbooks.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very. So talk a little bit about your book.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So my book, Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz, I published last year. And as I mentioned earlier, it was really a response to what I saw as a gap in the marketplace. Like I said before, service office space, and again, there are a number of euphemisms that explain the same thing, has been around for decades, but I constantly come across people who don't know anything about service office space, who don't recognize that it's an option that they can consider for their real estate needs in their business. So in response to that knowledge gap, I decided to write the book. And as I was researching, doing some pre-research, if you will, for the book, what I also noticed is that there's no other book in the marketplace that I've seen that talks about service office space from the perspective of the user. There are some books in the marketplace that talk about how you start a co-working space, for example, or how you manage a service office space, but not so much how you can navigate the marketplace if you're someone who potentially is going to be a user of the service. Mm-hmm. So that's really the two primary aims of the book. One, to close the knowledge gap about the industry in and of itself, and also to help those who are interested in using the service to navigate the marketplace. So the book talks about two ways that I attempt to address both of those points through the book is explaining what I call the 3 C's of service office space, which are credibility, convenience, and control. And then I also talk about the 5 steps to navigate the marketplace that will enable you to cut costs and effectively kill the rent. So there are two primary paradigms that the book is centered around to help people understand service office space and how it could potentially benefit their business.
Okay, that sounds like a good. And what's the title of the book again?
The book is called Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz.
And where can you get the book?
The book is available on Amazon. It is an Amazon best-selling book. It's available on Amazon, and it's also available on my website, which is howardcorporate.com.
Okay. Wow, this is like, wow. It's people doing so many interesting things, and you're the first person that we have met that is actually doing the office space piece. So we are honored to know you.
But I am honored to be the first person who you have spoken to about this topic.
Yes, I knew about it, and I've done some research on it because I run an organization, And that's one of the things that I would like to bring to the organization is having workspace for the members to be able to go and be with their clients in a professional workspace atmosphere, which is credibility right off the bat.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think also, and you may be able to relate to this too, when you're in a professional environment, it makes you feel better. It just shifts the energy. Yeah, it changes your mindset a little bit, and it allows you just to be more productive and more energetic and excited about what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
your whole mindset shifts. You have a shift in mindset.
Absolutely.
Attitude.
Yes, as opposed to
absolutely
from a home office. You know.
The little cubby hole you curved out for yourself in the basement or your storage.
Exactly.
You feel accomplished.
All professional when you're talking to your client. Anytime you're looking at whatever you're thinking.
Exactly.
That's just what you have to, because you really do have to, like, when you're doing that, really outward focus. Like, okay, I'm really not here. I'm really a professional doing my job. But you have some place that you can go and feel professional. That's got to make a big difference.
Yes.
Exactly.
Big difference.
It does. And I think when you take yourself more seriously as a business owner, that's going to project outward, and people are going to take you more seriously themselves.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, it helps to build up your confidence. And when you feel more like a business owner, you feel more entrepreneurial. That just boosts up your confidence, and then you're just in a different zone when you're interacting with other people.
Yes,
exactly.
And they feel it. And they feel it, because
exactly.
This sister is serious.
Exactly.
Yes, I like it.
That's right. It's like, wow, she has her own receptionist and she has her own conference room. It's like, wow, I'm dealing with a baller.
How about that? When you can invite people to a conference room,
exactly.
It makes a difference in their perception. Even if you're conducting some form of workshop, it makes a difference in their perception of everything that you do. Yeah, it just changes their perception.
That's absolutely right.
And so many small businesses need that, because as Ida said, a lot of us are working out of, from the kitchen table. That was where that whole concept of small businesses originally started. They used to talk about kitchen table businesses. And a lot of them did start out that way. But as you begin to grow and you want to grow, you do need more professional space. And this is what you're offering.
Yes.
And I think that's so valuable. And I know our listening audience, a lot of people, their ears are perking up, because like you said, most people don't know about it. They may have heard something or read an article, but they've never listened to anyone talk about this. So you may be getting some phone calls. That's what I'm
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, because people are looking for a way to bring their business to a new level. And they're struggling. They can't afford a regular brick and mortar business. They can't afford to go buy or rent an office building because, Lord, rent prices are like through the roof.
Yes.
And just like with the housing industry, people are trying to find alternative housing, the tiny house movement. They're looking for alternatives to the, skyscraper kind of business office. They can't afford it, but they want their business to go forward. And this is what you're offering.
Yes, and it's a shared effort.
Exactly.
You have business owners that share the maintenance, the upkeep. And it's a brilliant concept.
Yeah, and I think it's in line, with the way trends in other types of industries are going as well. I mean, we're just very much a sharing economy. We have ride sharing types of opportunities now. People are, instead of going to hotels, they're sharing homes with Airbnbs and other types of things. Right. So it's just become a very fractional type of society now, where it's like, why do we need to put out all of this outlay if we're just going to need it for this little piece of time? Why not just spread it all, spread the cost among all of the users, and then, collectively we all save. So I think that's just a mentality shift just globally across so many different industries.
Yeah.
And service office space is just an example of that.
Yes, and it's an excellent way to leverage.
Yeah.
Brought up something very interesting just now, the fact that this is becoming a global attitude in many different areas of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was, the only way you could have a business and be somebody was to have an office.
Exactly.
And importantly, you had to have the right location for your office.
Right.
Exactly.
This way you give people a great location without all the insanity that goes with having to rent a business place. The same thing is going on, like you said, with the Airbnbs. I think that's a fascinating trend around the world, and trying to understand what that really means. What is it that people are saying about how they want their life to live their lives? What kind of, and you mentioned it, control. People want control of their lives again because things have gotten so out of control. What used to be, quote unquote, the American dream had slowly slipped away, and now there are organizations like your own and others that are beginning to say, oh, well, there's a way around this. We don't have to do it the way we've always been doing it. Let's do it a different way. And I think it's just a fascinating and wonderful and so needed change in attitude and concepts, and opening our eyes and looking around and saying, okay, so this is what it used to be. Later for that, let's do it this way. Because this works for so many more people.
Yes.
Yeah. I find it very, very exciting. And Ida knows that one of my favorite ones is the tiny house movement. I think that is just an awesome concept because, again, people can't afford the McMansions, They need something livable, something that, and so that they're not strapped for the rest of their lives. This gives them the same opportunity. I don't have to put everything that I make for my business into the place where I conduct my business. And then get pennies back in profit because everything has gone into the facade of my business. And let somebody else take care of the facade. I go ahead and take care of my business.
Yes.
I get some of the profits.
And that's all about
That's
sharing.
a win-win.
It's
Exactly.
all about sharing, and that's what I like.
Yes. This whole idea of sharing.
And I think, you said a few moments ago, like, what does this trend really mean? That's a good question. That's worth contemplating. You probably ask 10 people that question, you get 10 different answers. But I think some of it is just, the growth of technology and how easy it is to have a successful business without having a brick and mortar. And, you have so many online businesses now and, types of business models that really don't require a fixed brick and mortar, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 square foot space anymore. But, one of the things I will say, because there might be some people listening right now who may say, look, I'm an online business. I don't have a need for, service office space because I just don't need, to have an office or a meeting room. I do everything virtually. For those folk, I still say that there's still a benefit to using service office space because if nothing else, you can use it as your corporate headquarters address. Because even if you are a virtual company, when people go to your website, they're still going to want to see an address to ensure that you're not a fly-by-night or that you're not, you're here today, gone tomorrow. So there are so many different ways that service office space can benefit companies, even in the midst of all of the technological changes and the shifts that are going on in how we do business and relate to each other. It still has a place. It kind of adapts to those changes very easily, I think.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Now, one of the questions that if somebody wanted to hold like a workshop or something like that, are you able to facilitate that type of activity as well?
Yes, we do have conference rooms that we do have clients we have workshops in. Now, my particular location right now in Laurel has a certain capacity limit, and most places have some type of limit. So it really, in that case, will really come down to how many people you're looking to accommodate. But yes, we have conference rooms that have seating that can be arranged, boardroom style, classroom style, theater style, whiteboards, projectors, just about anything that you'll need to facilitate, an effective workshop. We also have kitchen areas in all of our in our spaces. So we provide complimentary water, coffee, tea. Certainly, if you want to have your lunch catered, that's also something that you can do for your workshop guests. So that's definitely something we can accommodate as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
That
awesome. Is wonderful. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We will be telling people about you.
I'm excited.
You said the wheels are turning now. Yeah, something that's really interesting, and this is not an opportunity that I sought out, but we've actually, our space has also been rented out as part of a set for a television show. We've had 2 or 3 different opportunities where different television producers have rented out our space to shoot certain scenes for their particular show. So it has a multitude of uses. So beyond like the typical 9-to-5 business owner, but there are television and film production opportunities that we've had an opportunity to benefit from as well. So, so it's good that you know me now before I get my Oscar. So
yes, and
when you totally blow up on us.
We're moving into television as well. So when you said that,
that's good information.
That's excellent information.
There's so many different ways it can apply. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Don't you have something else going on in the television arena yourself? Or
yes, I actually, you're absolutely right. In addition to my book last year, I launched a television show called C-Suite on Your Street. Again, the aim is to educate and empower small business owners. So when I first launched the show in 2018, it was produced by Laurel TV, which is a public access station in the city of Laurel where my office is. I'm now talking to some prospective new producers, so I'm excited about a new direction for the television show, so stay tuned for that. But yes, you're absolutely right. I do have the show. I have taped about 13 episodes, and in each of the episodes I had a subject matter expert come on and talk about some aspect of operating a small business that was an essential skill for small business owners to master so that they can continue to move their business forward. So I like the fact that it's an educational opportunity, once again, to empower and business owners, but it also creates an opportunity for the guests that I've had to spotlight their talents and their abilities. So as you said earlier, it's all about small business owners supporting other small business owners and just keeping that cycle of support and abundance moving. So it's really wonderful to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will definitely be talking, because Just Minding My Business Media also does TV as well, and we love talking to small business that are doing amazing things to help people, whether it be what you're doing or working with your mind, keeping your mind on track, or whatever, because we need all that.
We need it all. We need it all. Every day we need that.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Every little bit helps. Every little nugget. So we will definitely be talking, and I am so honored for that. Wow.
Yes, I'm so. Thank you for reaching out. I'm honored as well. So and I'm excited for the things that you all are doing, and I thank you on behalf of all of the guests that you've had for the support that you're giving to the small business owner community as well. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So again, how can people get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So, my website, I authored my book under LD Howard. That's my pen name, if you will. So you can go to ldhoward.com to stay up to date to what I'm doing. Again, that's where you can also purchase the book directly or via amazon.com. And also, if you go to ldhoward.com, you can download some free resources from the book, including a 3 C's of service office space chart to help you navigate the marketplace and to see if service office space can work for you. So definitely check that out. That's ldhoward.com. You can learn more about what I'm doing, grab some free resources from the book, and even purchase the book if you want. I'm also on social media. LaTanya Howard is my Facebook profile name, and you can also connect with my business pages as well, Howard Corporate Center and C-Suite on your street.
All right. Yes.
Thank you so much, LaTanya.
Right. Yes, this is
thank you.
Invigorating. I'm like, this is a whole
wonderful
subject.
Yeah, and nobody knows about it. So it's like I was educated. Thank you for educating me. I did not know. I knew of it, but I didn't know how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there are people who are listening who are thinking, I need to go find out about this. You know, this is exactly what I need. Especially that piece of having a recognizable address. Oh my goodness, that's huge.
Yes, that's very
exactly.
And that's what a lot of small business people don't have, because they don't want to use their home address. So they go get a post office box address. But when you can use a real live address and people will Google it, I'm going to tell you, they're going to Google it because they want to see the building.
And the building, right. Not a strip mall. A strip mall.
Exactly. They want to see this nice building with this nice facade. And they say, oh, it's real. Look at that. That's nice. Okay.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
We're human. So in a world of so many people not telling the truth about anything, people need confirmation.
Yes.
You need confirmation.
Exactly. Exactly.
Feeling of safety. And that's one of the things a huge thing that you supply. If people, all of our listening audience now, if you didn't get anything else, you know that Howard was it LD Howard?
Yes, ldhoward.com. Absolutely.
You can go there and you can learn how to get this business address so you don't have to use your home address and look fabulous to the rest of the world.
That's right. That's right. You can be a rock star.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This has been awesome, LaTanya. I am so glad we connected, and I am looking forward to what's next.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'm excited for what awaits you all as well. So we have to definitely stay connected and continue to support each other. Yes, absolutely.
Definitely in the loop. Most definitely.
Yes, and thank you so much. This is
my pleasure.
Refreshing. And, although I've been researching it, but you definitely put a different light on the whole virtual office space. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for sure.
Word on the street says there's something new at Just Minding My Business Media. You've heard our podcast, Just Minding My Business Radio, that brings news and views you can use. That airs every Thursday at 6 p.m. on iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and Spreaker. Well, now you can watch Just Minding My Business. That's right, Just Minding My Business Media now has a TV presence on Raven International TV Network, broadcast on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV, through Just Minding My Business dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmmb.asistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level.
Thank you to the amazing women of A Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, and our media partners. Let Just Minding My Business Media promote your business. For information, visit us at jmmb.asistercircle.org. That's jmmb.asistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks, for when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.